Welcome to episode 28. I want to talk about visibility today, and I want to ask you very honestly, but compassionately as well, because I get that not always we want to be online doing all the things. But are you being visible? Can we see you? Is there an up-to-date version of you? I know that visibility can sometimes feel like a relationship that's really hard to maintain. I know that sometimes life is not conducive to you going, okay, whatever happens, I'm going to be consistent online at 7 a.m. It's just not the case for most of us. Most of us need wiggle room. Most of us need to take a mental health break. Most of us don't want to document every single part of our life. We want presence, we want connection, and we want to be in the real world. And yet, we have to understand our own relationship with visibility. And one of the realizations that I've had over the years is that when I'm not feeling good, my visibility is the first thing to go. I don't want to go anywhere near the internet. I mean, I might have a cheeky scroll, but certainly in terms of creating, I don't want to do that. And yet my business relies on me being visible. And so if I pull away with my visibility, I am essentially pulling away from my business. And so what I have learned to really take seriously is thinking about how I can support myself in those times where I feel great and enthused and enthusiastic and vibrant and energized, and those times when I don't want to. So one of the things that I really have focused on, and I encourage you to do the same, is to focus on systems where people can always get more of what they need. So I really put a lot of thought into playlists. I put a lot of thought into my pillars. I don't deviate a lot in terms of my content away from what I talk about. So I'm not suddenly talking about my 10 top tube stations in the UK. I mean, or in London. I could, if you asked me, I would have opinions and thoughts and feelings about these things. But in terms of my content of what I put out there, that is not relevant. And so what I always want to do is to create this system. So when people see, and you'll see it like live here, when people discover my content, I will always direct them to the next thing. So if somebody's like, oh, it feels like she's speaking to me, it feels like there's something here, they can take that next step independently and get to know me more and get to know themselves more without me having to do anything. So it's just about that through line. Another thing I really put focus on is being full of clarity and being specific. I am not here to help everybody build a personal brand. I generally talk to women. I generally talk to people who want to have a portfolio career. I generally talk to people who are in midlife, who are creative, all of these kind of things. So sometimes I do get clients that are outside of that, but there's often a common ground. The next thing I do is I think about how something can be an easy yes. So for me, talking directly to the camera here, this is an excellent use of my visibility time because we are building this relationship. You are getting to know me. I eventually will get to know you as well when we start that conversation. And it really makes me speak honestly, truthfully, in a way that I hope the stories that I share will land. And so there's that reciprocity going on. And I never want somebody to come across my content and go, I'm not really sure what she does. I'm not really sure what this is all about, or it's chopping and changing. I want you to always build that easy yes. So I am always thinking about that in what I design so people feel confident to take the next step. A couple more. I do things in a way that feels really good to me. So the schedule situation, doing the same thing every day, I scrap it. It doesn't work for me. And I do it for about 5 days in a row, and then something pops up and then I feel like a complete failure. I would rather put my energy into my content, into my schedule. When I have that energy, I've got something to say, and then really market it and be like, guys, I've got this thing and I've done this stuff. That for me feels much, much better at this stage in my life. So I want you, in terms of your visibility, to really lean into what works for you, what feels good in your body, but what suits your circumstances and your stage of life. Finally, one of the things that I do is I really think about how I can do one and then do more. So often what can happen, say with my daily workshops, is people who like that kind of daily workshop style, if they're following and they're like, I really like this, they look forward to the next one. They subscribe to the playlist. They're in touch in that conversation. And so I really want you to think about those rhythms that you can create, rather than it all feeling a little bit random. And when it feels random, it doesn't feel as doable. So I would love to know from you, what are you going to do today to make you feel more visible, more inclined to do so, and more likely to grow your business? If you would like to subscribe to the playlist, do so down below. I will leave the link. And secondly, if you want to go behind the scenes and find out a little bit more about my work, who I help, how I could maybe help you, there is a workshop, and I would highly advise you checking it out. Lots of love.